in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
On third down, Roethlisberger. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. It's a gain of 20 and picking up the first.
That's good for us, Steelers.
Yeah, when I see passes like that, I'm reminded of something you and I talked about yesterday. Big Ben was a wide receiver the first 3 years of high school, sitting behind the coach's son. And then he finally got that opportunity. I think he's made the most of it.
It's always the coach's son, isn't it? But you know where it helps him? When he looks downfield, he knows what the receivers are going to do. He actually has wide receivers' eyes when he's throwing the ball.
They'll go with Pollard here on first down. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. A loss of 2 there. Second down. It's probably a pretty good sign here on the opening drive if your guys from the secondary are coming up and spilling things in the backfield.
How about the adrenaline and aggressiveness that led his eyes to the backfield to run up there and make that tackle, setting a tone early for his defense.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for third down.
Brings up 3rd and 1.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
This is 3rd and 1. Very likely 4-down territory even if they don't get it, though.
Jack 16.
Trying to run for it with Pollard. And he gets it to the 32. Good enough for a first down. That gain of 9 buys them a new set of downs. If you make the stop there, maybe you hold them to 3 on this opening drive. They didn't get the stop.
Yeah, new set of downs now. Now you're worried about, just as you pointed out, not just giving up 3, possibly giving up 6. Let's see what they decide to do here because they've got to change up what they have been doing. It hasn't been working.
And the catch made by Johnson. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. Give him 30 yards there. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter.
Here we go, here we go. Black 20. 49.
Hey, keep it up, keep it up.
Now here's Pollard. And this will result in him losing yardage. Back to the 3. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. So they're backed up to the 3-yard line, second and goal.
At the Bills' 3-yard line.
6-6, pull it high.
49. 49's a mic. 49's a mic.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to tear you up. Don't get nervous.
SOS. Heat these 2.
SOS. SOS. SOS.
6 guys.
These 2.
Watch twins. Watch twins.
They'll try to run this one in. And he's in for the score. And his spectacular season continues as he ties the NFL touchdown record.
He is phenomenal.
One of the keys to their long winning streak has been scoring first. An ideal drive right there, getting the first 6 points of the ball game.
Do you go back to our meeting with the offensive coordinator? Remember what he told us?
Absolutely.
With some teams, I script to probe in the early part of the game. Other teams, I script to attack. They've been in attack mode for these ball games and continue that in this one.
That'll be taken in the end zone.
The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Allen and the Bills now with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. On the ground with the rookie Devin Singletary. And from the 25, they work this to the 29, a gain of 4.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
On second down, here's a run with Singletary. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And it's third down.
50. Let's go, Pete. It's going to be a long day offense. It's going to be a long day.
Throwing is Allen on third. Now they go screen. It's complete. Shifts past him at the 40. As Singletary has it stripped. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line. So they need to determine if that knee was down before the ball was coughed up.
And they also wanted to make sure that the ball was possessed as they were going through it, that the ball wasn't working its way free before the knee hit the ground.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive as we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They'll wind up losing 4 yards on the play, and that's going to make it 2nd and 14.
Watch QB drop. Watch QB drop. 55.
Working out of the shotgun. Here's Allen. Man open. That's Robert Foster complete. 19 yards to pick up there. Move the chains. As far as undrafted players go, Philip Lindsay took most of the headlines a season ago. But remember, Robert Foster was undrafted out of Alabama as well. Signed with the Bills in May of 2018 and had a pretty good year. 27 catches, 541 yards. To throw, it's Allen. He's going to go deep for... And this is caught. And all the way home for a Bills touchdown. Cole Beasley, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are on the board here in this first quarter. You always worry about the plant foot in the snow, but no problems there. And we are tied at 7. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25.
At their own 26-yard line.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
Middle.
Who's that? Is that yours?
50.
58 to Mike. 58 to Mike.
Yeah. What's up? 59, what's up? 59. Black.
On second down, Pollard. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. That'll go as a loss of 5. And it'll be 3rd down.
Black 30.
58 to Mike. What we got?
Play action. It's Roethlisberger. Open man is heard. It's complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A first down and then some. 36 yards. So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. Now a shotgun handoff to Pollard. And he's going to get this inside the 30. The Steeler first down on the pickup of 11 yards.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
Double bump. Hey, Delta.
56. Check 56.
I want that. Give me that ball,
On 1st and 10, it's Roethlisberger. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Jordan Poyer. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. He had a little bit of the turnover bug last week. 3 interceptions. Not an absolute disaster, but another one here. Do you start to get a little worried?
You worry about your team as a whole because you have to find a way to make those interceptions, quote-unquote, go away. And that means your defense. They've got to go out there on sudden change and at least hold people to field goals. And if that keeps happening, they lose confidence in the quarterback, and then no one plays well. Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
On 2nd down now, Singletary. And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football in that situation. That's almost a tendency breaker.
Throwing on first down is Allen. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he'll be brought down somewhat awkwardly here, and a late flag as well. I think this one's going to be a face mask. So they'll take the yardage and tack on 15 more for the face mask.
Talk about a play that absolutely costs you in the end. Just trying to do your job, right? Trying to get him on the ground. Next thing you know, they'll march off another 15 against your squad.
And the tip there altered the ball flight, and it falls incomplete. It'll be 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10.
I hope you brought your rest because I'm about to take you to school.
Hey, tight.
Now Allen throwing again. He's going to launch this thing way downfield into a double team, and it's intercepted. Sean Davis with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, 2nd year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting.
A fight for the football, and it's intercepted. Tre'Davious White with a pick. And they are going to set up shop at the 32-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And he went nowhere. He'll lose yardage back to the 29. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. The loss of 3 on that first down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. Allen going to throw. It's brought in complete. It's John Brown. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down.
Barney sold the go route really well. Thought he was going deep, then curled it back inside for a nice completion.
DBs love when they pump the brakes, don't they?
Yeah, that's really a whole lot of fun. It's almost like you said, listen, if you're going to sell the go, just go, and let's see who's faster.
Right there. Right there. 54 Mike. All day, dog. Check.
Now on 3rd and 2, they're going to elect to throw with Allen. Blitz coming, and down he goes. That's Vince Williams who gets the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest ones, maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've shown very little offensively to this point. Well, neither team has, really. They come up here now, 1st down. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes.
I don't think any of us were surprised that they decided to start this drive on the ground after the last 2 drives ended in interceptions.
Unfortunately, though, not a lot going on that first play.
Yeah, I think the anticipation was felt also by the defense.
Mike, 58, right there. He can't hang.
This time, Roethlisberger will throw. And this one's incomplete. James Washington was the intended target, and that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the 2nd quarter, a lot of time to change things. On 3rd down, it's Pollard. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a 4th down. The Steelers send out their punter now. The All-Pro Andre Roberts deep for Buffalo. .157 to go in this first half on EA Sports.
Here we go.
And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. They go play action here on 1st down. Fighting through. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Ryan Shazier got in that time, the 1st-round pick of 2014.
Got to give him points for the attempt, but there's just a wave of pressure there. A host of people in the area. Evades a few, but couldn't evade all of them.
That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go.
Here we go.
Allen going to give this one to Singletary. He's got room to run past the 20. He's at the 50. And he'll take this down to the 40-yard line. A big hitter there from deep in their own territory. 51 yards. So a slight improvement in field position, you might say, from inside their own 10 to this as they come up on 1st down. Got an open man. It's Foster. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync.
Yeah, Singletary has it stripped, and it's picked up by the Steelers. Dashing through the snow. The 40, 20, 10, 5, and they will finally bring this run back to an end, but not before he's down inside the 5-yard line at the 4.
Hey, whatever happened to the days of just getting a fumble recovery? Everyone's into taking it the other way and trying to create points themselves, aren't they?
Well, they are, and now a terrific opportunity inside the 5. The defense gets him the ball via the turnover. Now can this offense cash in? 1st and goal. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. The Steelers signal for the 2nd of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half.
Block 80! Heavy on the edges, heavy on the edges.
On 2nd down, Pollard. And he is into the end zone, and the touchdown record is now all his. So they're able to break the tie just before halftime. Now they just don't want anything crazy to happen on the ensuing kickoff.
Yeah, they want to just add the extra point, get the kickoff taken care of, and get to the locker room with the lead that they fought so hard to get.
Extra point put through by Boswell, and that makes the score 14-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This is taken at his 4. Spins away. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20. Call it the 21-yard line.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 21-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Likely time for just one final play, and then it'll be off to the locker room to talk about how they can erase this deficit.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people look at it and go, well, maybe you take a shot here. Maybe you get some momentum going into the half. What's the flip side of that? You do something crazy, quarterback gets hit, ball comes free, and now you're down an even bigger margin. Go ahead and take this one, go to the locker room, start over.
This snow front that has socked much of the East Coast not going away as we are back to it in the second half. This will be taken in at the 1. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line.
Take over 1st and 10 at their own 24-yard line.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They're close game, but they're going to need to do a little bit better probably here in half 2, no?
I would agree with that totally. I would guess it in the locker room. They talked about cleaning up some of the errors, but overall, I think they wanted to be positive with them. Guys, we're right there. Just not playing as well as we need to. Let's pick it up, and we still have a chance to win this game.
Yeah, they do. We'll see if they can pick it up. Looking to throw on second down. Allen. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. 11 yards and a Buffalo first down. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Allen. And this one complete to Smith. That throw good for 4. It's second down. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. To throw again on second down. Allen, rush coming, and he's taken down. Stephon Tuitt, the former Notre Dame man, in there to get him, and on the season now, that is 9 sacks for him.
3rd and 11.
So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. On 3rd down, Allen. And he's going to go down again. Stephon Tuitt has now recorded 10 sacks on the season.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
Hey, how about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. The first down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5.
Check back, check back.
To throw here, Roethlisberger. He's going to launch it for Washington. And that will be incomplete. Trying to dial up the long way out there, but it'll be third down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
He's checking.
Eight. Black, what's that?
From the gun on third down, it's Roethlisberger. Going for Hurd. It's caught inside the 25. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Jalen Hurd, his third touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now 21-7. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. This fielded at the 2.
Come on, man. Let's go.
The Bills take over 1st and 10 at their own 18.
The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. On 2nd and 7, Allen. Dancing to his left. And this one caught by Beasley. And he's going to be out up around the 45-yard line. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Slam.
Regular.
On first down, Allen. And that'll wind up incomplete. Trying to give his man room to run under it, but it's 2nd down.
I like what they tried to do there. They didn't get a completed pass downfield, but they came off of a momentum play. Big-time gain on the previous snap, came right back and threw one deep, hoping to catch them on their heels.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Throwing again, Allen. Oh, Allen cannot get away, and down he goes. Cameron Hayward with sack number 23 on the year, breaking Michael Strahan's mark of 22.5. Congratulations. So after the sack, Allen and the Bills with work to do on 3rd and long. Here's Allen to throw it. Flush to his right. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down. Here's Sam Martin now as he's on to punt for Buffalo. This is taken at about the 14.
The Steelers take
Let's go.
over 1st and 10
Let's go.
at their own 23-yard line.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes and Big Ben intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off near the 34. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. Johnson was the intended receiver. So now he's equaled his interception total from a week ago. Remember, Charles, he had 3 last week.
And you know, all week long he vowed to take that number down. Told the guys on the team, don't worry, things are going to pick up. I've got this. But he is in a major league rut right now. Let's see if his teammates can pick him up along the way.
You're right. He talked about being cool, calm, collective, rebounding. Not rebounding right here.
But these guys are going to chop into that deficit. They're going to have to do a much better job in the run game. Caught behind the line of scrimmage, no yardage to be found.
Pass 85.
On 2nd and 12, Allen. Room to run inside the 40. And he finds Beasley, complete. And finally taken down at the 35-yard line. 16 yards there, and the Bills have a first down. Allen now 6 for 6 since coming back out of the locker room. It's 1st and 10. Now Allen. And that will be incomplete. Would have been a big hitter if they had connected. Instead, it's 2nd down.
Sometimes we wonder about play calls, but this one made perfect sense to me. He's got the only touchdown that they've scored in this game. Tried to get it to him again on another deep ball.
Here's 2nd and 10 now from the 35. Now Allen looking here for Smith downfield. And that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man-on-man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down. And now another turnover as this one's intercepted. Picked up by the rookie first-rounder from Michigan, Devin Bush. And the return stops at the 39-yard line.
Well, so much of playing quarterback in the snow comes down to trying not to do too much. You've got to just keep telling yourself, throws downfield we've run every day in practice all year. But guess what? They suddenly become more difficult. And this one gets away from him and winds up an interception.
Now a run on 1st down is not going to get off the ground as they will get him behind the line of scrimmage for a loss of 3. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I think it's pretty evident. We can say what a difference a week makes. Last week, he ran pretty much wild, didn't he? Did pretty much what he wanted to do. But this one, they've stopped him cold. That, to me, that's good scouting and even better execution.
Yeah, and they stopped him behind the line right there. They obviously watched the tape a few times and made some adjustments. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Kayvon Webster. So they elect to decline it.
And why not? Just go ahead and let the play stand, and they'll take that.
Back now in Pittsburgh. The Bills have the football, but they trail here as we begin quarter number 4. So good field position for the Bills as they come up 1st and 10 at their own 37. Allen. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Rashawn Gary, he's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. That huge loss on the sack makes this job much more difficult. It's now 2nd down and 22 yards to go. A give, Singletary right side, and he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up 3rd down.
Well, that's pretty symptomatic about how things have gone here. That play was just shut down right from the start.
And not going to give him a lot of confidence to help turn things around. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long.
Check 55, Mike. Here we go, here we go.
So the shotgun snap to Allen. Flushed out right. And that will be incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
Here's Sam Martin now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this punt goes out of bounds, and it'll be marked inside the 40. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. Now, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
8 yards on the pickup, and now they'll have some options on second and short.
Watch, quick.
Sniffers. Sniffers.
Kill.
Greystone, travel. Alert. Snoop. Lock it back.
Now this time he'll look to throw. He's going to fire one deep over. That's caught inside the 20. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Deontay Johnson with touchdown number 12 on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. Extra point put through by Boswell. And the lead now to 3 touchdowns at 21. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out is going to cost him about 7 yards all told as he's taken down back shy of the 20. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Looking for more there on first down, but this throw downfield, incomplete. The tight end, Lee Smith, the intended receiver. But it's going to be second down. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
They'll run here with Singletary. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Only a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a third down.
Well, that's a good start to this drive on the defensive side of the ball.
Force the incompletion on first down. Then you're able to shut down the running play on second.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised now. A little bit of pressure going at the quarterback in an expected passing situation.
A play fake to Singletary, and now it's Allen. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Justin Lane, the rookie from Michigan State. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. That's the story of the game. They've been suffocating all game long on defense. They were suffocating there again in a big way.
And they've done it not just by out-athleting them, which is often the case, but by being able to adjust to anything they tried to throw at them and beating them into the punch each and every time. This was a defense that was well prepared.
That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. And they gave up the pick 6, and now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Cameron Hayward in there yet again. What else is new? He continues to rewrite the record book in single-season sacks. And the job becomes twice as difficult now. After the sack, it's 2nd and 20. To the air, Allen. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. That one was intended for John Brown. And that'll make it third down. Another incompletion. You know, it's a wonder he's still moving around back there the number of times he's been sacked.
Yeah, he's staying out there, isn't he? And you don't think about it much in a game like this, but he's showing incredible leadership. Still competing, still fighting, not taking himself out of a ball game that appears lost.
And now the third down throw incomplete as well. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense that's well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure, the backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
It takes a touchdown-saving tackle to bring him down as he goes 32 yards on the return. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. They run the counter. Pollard. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. The Steelers picking up 15 yards there and a first down. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all three still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage. Use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning.
Ready? Like 80.
56, right there, 56.
Alert, alert.
Still laying.
Rush in, rush in, rush in. Switch. Watch twist, watch.
Take two of them. Let's go. Let's wide
On second down now. Pollard. So a nice job to break the one tackle, but not much daylight after that as he's brought down.
Brings up 3rd down.
He wasn't ready.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the fourth quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away.
49 the mark.
From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And that is incomplete. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
That's fielded in the end zone. And a nice job there as he gets this one up just shy of the 35-yard line at the 34. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. They've lost this one. Their offense has struggled. Do they try to put together something here at the end just to take into next week?
Yeah, sometimes teams want to do that, and coaches want to. I remember one time I was on a team, and we were losing late in a game like this, and you knew it was lost. It was over, right? And the coach called a running play and pretty much said to everyone, I want to see something executed well before we get out of here. And that was the message to the team.
Just something to build on.
Just something to build on, get it done, and maybe we can look at that and say, we'll get better as we go forward.
To throw again on second down. Allen, he's going to let it fly. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call. And since they still have 10 yards to go, they'll just say, let's roll this over to 3rd down and decline it.
Let's just be honest about it. If you can't get them off the field on 3rd and 10, then something's wrong with your defense anyway. No sense in taking that penalty.
Throwing is Allen on 3rd. And the throw there going to be incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
It's a 45-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup? Let him get some time.
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row that were blowouts. And in none of them did the starting quarterback ever come out of the game for the team that had a big lead. And in each instance, I asked the coaches later on, why didn't you do that? And they all looked at me and said, just don't really do that in the NFL. These guys play, and we just play them all the way through. Now, in certain situations, they will take them out, but for the most part, they're not as worried and concerned about getting them out of the game. And that's always puzzled me a little bit.
And they will take a knee here.
Today,